You ready to roll?
John Boyle.
Yeah, Pete, you talked early in the week about kind of the conversations you might have with Jamal and Brandon, especially Jamal, about playing his former team. What have you seen out of him now that he's gone through the week of practice? Just how kind of what's
Yeah, he's really. Both guys are in a good place and ready to go. I would be concerned about it had we not talked about it. We just visited on it, and both guys were really level-headed about it, which is what we need to do. And so the three of us are going to be really even-keeled. Hey, while I got a chance before the next question, we just want to wish a little good luck to the Sounders and Coach Metzer and what these guys have done. Again, here they go. We've been following it and looking for some more great highlights and wishing them the best in the championship match. Sorry.
Corbin.
Hey, Pete, Brandon Shell wasn't on the final injury report. How did he look out in the field this week at practice?
He had a full week of practice. He did really well. He's ready to go and really no hesitation there.
And looking at his season up to this point, he's only given up 5 quarterback hits in 10 games. Has he exceeded your expectations after you guys signed him back in March?
Well, I go back to we were really hopeful that he was going to fit just right, and he really has. He's just been a real positive, solid as a rock. Unfortunately, missed a couple games here, but every way, run game, pass game, he's really been a great acquisition for us and filled the spot, and we're real excited about him. I'm really glad he gets to play this week too. It's just it's an important deal, and we wanted to get back, and so he's done it.
Joe.
Could you give an update on Quentin Dunbar and Rashad Penny, how they practice this week and if their chances of playing?
Yeah, Quentin's not ready this week. He did practice all the 3 days, but not ready yet. Rashad Penny looked great. I mean, he looked great. He exceeded our expectations with his movement and his quickness and all of that. He's really in good shape. I don't know what that means for next week, but he looked as healthy as anybody out there. So we'll take it one shot at a time here. But very, very positive initial return, and I know he's really jacked about it.
And do you think Will Dissly is still kind of feeling the lingering effects of coming back from an Achilles?
No, I don't think so. He's worked. Nobody worked harder and more diligently than Will did. He's been steady as a rock with us. He's doing fine.
Curtis.
Yeah, Pete, how's Carlos Dunlap doing? First of all, and then on top of that, Carson and Hyde off the final status. How have they made it through the week, and are they better situated for you coming into this game?
Yeah, both Chris and Carlos are ready to go. They're both cranking ready. Carlos Dunlap, we're going to go all the way to game time on that one. We're going to work him out in pregame and make sure he's okay. Give him every day rest to make sure that we've protected him as much as possible and hope that he can play. But we'll determine that on game day.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Pete, when you're trying to gauge how mentally focused your team is in any given week, what exactly are you looking for when you're trying to gauge that?
Yeah, really day to day. It's day to day, Mike. We have a routine to us, and we know how we practice on Comp Wednesday, and we know what kind of what the tempo is. I make highlights every day for the next day's meetings, and I can tell from that, the numbers of plays that are on there that stand out. It's more subjective than objective, I think, but I've been doing it for a long time and can kind of feel it out. We really have a standard of it. And Friday really is a big day for us too. We can see how crisp we are and how attentive we are to the details and all that kind of stuff. That's what Friday's for. It's kind of the day that shows us whether or not we are on it. So, it's just a process of the week that, we're pretty steady. We're pretty steady.
Do you check in with the leaders on your team at all to help take the temperature in times like that?
Regularly. Yes, we're in regular conversation about what's going on and this and that, about who, whatever. I think we're really open to talk with Bobby and Russ and Dwayne and KJ and on and on and on. There's a ton of guys and it's a constant for me because I'm always gauging. Where do I need to go? Who do I need to help? Is there something I can do? That's how I compete, is to try to figure out how to make sure guys are right and focused and all of that. So. I'm not saying we do it great. I'm always trying to figure out how to do that better. But I would tell you that I mean, I can't tell you how we're going to play though. I can't call it, and I've had enough chances that, I don't have that nailed. But I can tell from the week how we worked. Yeah.
Thanks.
Bob?
Yeah, one more on Jamal. I know you said last week I think he was still like 85% from the shoulder. Obviously, he's had a couple of the injury things. How big of a deal, I guess, do you think just when assessing this year has it been that he kind of had to miss those games and was coming back from injuries a couple of them?
I mean, he's on pace to be the sackingest DB ever, and he missed games, and he's played really one-armed in maybe 2.5 games, I mean, legitimately playing with one arm, and he's not 100% yet. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if he can, with good fortune and all that, maybe that really goes away. But he still has to be very attentive to it and all that. So he is going to get better. He's going to play better. He's going to play faster. He's going to be more in command of all the stuff. We're doing a ton of stuff with him, and there's a lot of responsibility to the things that we're calling on him to do. And I mean, just today, he gave me a look after he did something really cool adjustment that he did, and he looked at me and said, "I'm getting it, and I'm getting it," and it's a process, and so I'm thrilled with the way he's playing, and know that he'll even be better.
Art?
Pete, have you heard any discussion in the NFL about because of the surge in COVID of things that might change the playoffs in terms of even a more stringent bubble around each team?
What I can tell you, Art, is that I think it's today they were having in-depth meetings attending to what's going to happen in playoff time, postseason. And so I don't know anything at all about the specifics of it. There has been some conversation, not with me directly, but conversation about can we create a bubble for the playoffs and that kind of stuff, and adjust to try to secure the team's safety and all that. But there's big meetings going on right now, and they're trying to figure it out.
Greg?
Hey, Rich, we'll let you in a second, okay? Sorry. Go ahead, Greg. My bad.
Have you noticed that, and the injury list and the amount of injuries don't suggest this, but is there any freshness or a different December feel to the daily grind of this season than previously? Because there was no preseason, really. There was no off season, and maybe this is a normal December.
Yeah, that's a good question that I got to sit back and think about that a little bit more. But it seems like we're still dealing with a lot of back and forth with the roster, who's up and who's down. I had hoped that from the midpoint of the season we might start to get in better, and be more adapted to the workload, and guys would be better than we were in the first 4 to 6 weeks. When we came off of a limited amount of prep. And hoping that the season might get guys in a little bit better. And I haven't done this yet, but at the halfway point now, we were well ahead injury-wise. The league was, but I was thinking that maybe as we compare those numbers, we could probably look at the third quarter of it and compare it to what happened in the first 2 quarters. I don't have those numbers for you though, but. I can't tell you that it feels fresh or no. It's just it still feels really different just because of the stadiums. That still feels different, and there's a different sense about a lot of it because of the atmosphere on game day.
How have your guys maintained that almost self-created momentum and energy and adrenaline? And at the beginning of the season, you talked about how good they were doing.
Yeah,
maybe in the Giants game.
Well, it's a lot easier to play off when you're playing good and you're winning and doing well and all that. But it has been. I think I might have said to you a week ago or 2 weeks ago that this is one of the biggest changes that we've dealt with, and it's the biggest changes in terms of emphasis that we've dealt with to try to nurture the energy and the juice, game day, locker room, halftime, coming out, finishing the game, all of that. Because you don't have the element of your home crowd and just the environment. Even when you're on the road too, it's just the noise that heightens the energy and all that, whether it's for you or against you. And so it continues to be a challenge. It continues to be a real emphasis. We want to finish with the best, surge of juice and support for one another that we can, and that's what I went directly to start the fourth quarter off. First thing I talked about is supporting one another and making sure that we're there for each other, so that we can keep the energy and the element of energy way high and like we need it. So we're working on it.
Last question for Pete. Masvidal.
Oh, we're going to miss some of the New York guys if we don't do something, Dave. Look, Samini's just dying to get a question in here.
Let's go, Masvidal.
I'm sorry, go Mas, you got it.
No, fair enough. Hey, Coach Pete, you said that the defenses were catching up to the offense now. Is that just because of this year, or is that a normal thing that happens in the regular season?
No, I don't have numbers to support this, but I think it generally happens. I think it generally we get better as we see more of them. We get more familiar with what's going on. The newness coming out of camp with no preseason games to even look at your opponents. That affects your first 4 or 5 weeks anyway. 4 games of stuff. Coaches show things, and you learn things, and you get adapted as you're going. And we didn't have any of that. So, the defense. Offense too, I'm talking like a defensive guy now, but the defense kind of went in blind, in that regard, and so once we see more, we adapt and we can change and adjust and all of that. I think you can see that the scores are definitely down from where they were earlier in the year.
Okay, thank you. We'll be back with.
We'll do the bonus round. Bonus round for the New York guys, just because if they got anything. Okay, that's it. Sorry. You got any questions, Rich? Oh, okay.
No, I'm good, Pete. We had a nice chat the other day, so I appreciate.
Just want to show you how I have no ill feelings. Okay, I'm really in good shape here. I'm just trying to give you guys every chance.
I never sensed an anti-New York bias at all.
Yeah, that's right. See ya.
We'll be back in 5 minutes or so with Jamal. Corbin?
Well, Pete Carroll kind of came up with his own word describing the history that you have a chance to set this weekend as the sackingest defensive back in NFL history. But would there be any additional meaning to be able to accomplish that against your former team?
Yeah, obviously, that has been on my mind. Obviously, breaking the record, I said I was going to do it last year when I failed. And I always told myself, whenever I put my mind to something, I'm gonna get it done. That's just how I'm wired. And obviously, it doesn't matter what team is out there. It's the next game. Obviously, we're playing against the Jets, and that is my former team. Will it be sweet? Yes, of course. But at the end of the day, I'm going out there to continue to do my job, continue to make plays for the team, and ultimately, come out victorious. That's what we're shooting for.
Thanks.
Bob?
Yeah, Jamal. I mean, will it be a big deal for you, Sunday to play against the Jets and all that, given your history there? Or you trying to treat it as just another game, or?
Right. Yeah, it's for me. It's another game. It's the next opponent. This game is very important because it's, like I said, it's the next one. Obviously, it is against the Jets, my former team. But I'm not here to make it about me. I'm just going out there to do my job, man.
Brian Costello?
Hey, Jamal. Just, for us in New York here, going back to the spring and kind of how everything went down, do you have any regrets about how things played out and how public it got between you and the Jets?
No regrets. Obviously, man, things happened the way it happened. I had to do what I had to do to get out of my situation. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be a Seattle Seahawk. I'm happy to be a part of an organization that values me and respects me for who I am on and off the field. And they're giving me a chance to be myself. They always, strive and always, push me to, be myself. And they always support me, whether it's wrong or right. And they'll tell me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I'm just happy to be here. Not really focused on the past. It did go down the way it went down. But I have nothing but love for the Jets organization.
John?
Yeah, Jamal, you kind of just touched on this a little bit, but anytime you change teams, you don't necessarily know exactly what you're getting into. Just what's your experience been here like relative to maybe what you were expecting coming in?
Yeah, man, it's a total 360. I'm like I said, man, from top to bottom, it's a first-class organization. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to, do everything I can to bring my impact on the field to help win ball games. That's the ultimate goal. And that's what I shoot for each and every day, just to continue to get better, continue to learn and continue, to learn my teammates as well. And win ball games, man. That's what I'm about.
Rich Cimini?
Jamal, I just was wondering if you felt disrespected by the Jets.
Man, honestly, listen, like I said, the guys that make the decisions over there, they just, didn't value me like Seattle does, and I appreciate that. There's no hard feelings towards them. They had different views. I had a different view. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be where I am, and I have an organization that believes in me, believes I can get it done, and thinks highly of me. So that's all I can ask for, man. It's just all about respect for me.
Michael Schott?
Quick follow. Are you surprised they're struggling so much?
Man, that's out of my control. I'm not going to answer that one. At the end of the day, I'm just happy to be a Seattle Seahawk.
Michael Sean?
Jamal, you talked about growing as a man. I think you maybe mentioned spiritually here since you've been in Seattle. In what ways have you been able to do that since coming here?
For what I did go through, back in New York, I fought depression, obviously, like I talked about a little bit. But the injuries over here is what kind of like changed my life, changed the way I look at it, changed the way I walk life, changed the way I speak on certain things. I'm very aware, should I say. Those injuries really took a toll on me because it never happened before. And at the end of the day, I was down on myself about it, but it really changed my life for the better. And I couldn't have done it with not only my family, but the guys in the building, the ladies as well, just helping me out, keeping me calm and talking to me, letting me express my feelings. Because I think that's what it's about. When you can express your feelings and get it off your chest, have other people see where you're coming from, that's where you can have clarity. So yes, I have been working on myself on and off the field, and I'm gonna continue to get better. But like I said, man, I'm in a different place in life, and I'm happy. I'm beyond happy.
Was there anyone here in the organization that was maybe more integral than anyone else in getting you into that happier place?
Yeah, I would give a lot of credit to Miss Priscilla. She's a young lady that helps us out, helps the team out a lot. Just talking to guys, anything they're going through on and off the field. She's done a phenomenal job, and I really, I give her my heart for what she's done for me. You know what I mean? And I care about what she says. Her opinion matters to me. So there's plenty of others. Everybody has always been positive around me in the building. Always supporting me, whether anything is being talked about negative my way in the media, whatever the case may be. I'm just keeping my head down, keep grinding. I know who I am as a person. I know what I can do on and off the field. I know what type of teammate I am. I know what type of person I am. So that's all that matters, man. As long as I have clarity within myself, the opinions do not matter.
Curtis?
Yeah, Jamal, you talked about how much this year's been a learning process and getting up to speed with the defense for both you and the defense as a whole.
Right.
How much farther do you think you have to go still before you feel like you're at the level where you're as comfortable as you want to be with everything?
Yeah, man. I'm really, really close. I'm really close, and I'm proud of myself. On how well I've handled myself through the process of learning, because it is a different defense that I've been in. Football is football. Everybody runs the same coverages around the league, but just different terminology and whatnot, and just learning the Seahawks way, right? And I'm only going to continue to get better, man. Obviously, early on I had some miscues, but that was just learning the defense. Obviously, went through some injuries, and as a whole, as a unit, we haven't all been on the field, and we're starting to get healthy. We're starting to understand who our teammates are, where they're going to be on this play or whatever the case may be, how they play, what's their strengths, what's their weaknesses. So that's what I'm about, man. I'm just going to continue to learn. I'm never going to, no matter how much success I have individually, I will never stop learning. I will continue to learn. I've always been driven like that. I get that from moms. I get that from pops. So I'm just eager to learn. Each and every day I come into the building, I'm learning something new, and I think that's big, man. It helps me out a lot.
Pete had said you had like an aha moment about something, maybe just today on the practice field. What was that like for you?
Yeah, he came up to me on one of the plays that early on in the season, I would not know beforehand, and I knew beforehand, right? Because I've seen it so many times. And he came up to me and dapped me up, but I just told him, I said, I'm getting it. I'm starting to get it. And he said, I know. So, like I said, man, it's going to get scary. It's going to get scary.
Ben?
Hey, Jamal, I remember when you first spoke to us in July about being excited, and not just about, the on-field stuff with kind of the leaders the Seahawks have in their locker room, but I remember you mentioning how, being able to learn from like Russ and Bobby what they do off the field with the philanthropic work, and how they kind of tap into different ventures and all that. In what ways do you feel like you've grown in that regard, just being around some of the leaders
in this in the Seahawks locker room with what they do beyond football.
Right, man. I'm so fortunate. So fortunate to not only be in this organization, but to be around guys like Russ and Bobby and KJ, Dwayne Brown. I mean, the list goes on and on of high caliber guys that have the potential to be a Hall of Famer, right? And that's obviously the ultimate goal for a lot of people that play this game. And I just learn from them each and every day. One thing I will say about them, the group of guys that I do look at, they're very consistent, and they don't change the way they practice, they play, whatever the case may be, whatever negative is going on in life, on and off the field, whatever, a loss, doesn't matter. It's even kill. It's a simple mindset, man, and I've always worked on my mindset and pride myself on how I handle things due to Kobe Bryant. I always look at Kobe, man. I'm always watching Kobe and how he goes about his days, how he goes about his work. And it's just having that mentality, man. Understanding that when you step on the field, you're the best one doing it. So these guys have that mentality. And that's what makes this organization very special, to have a lot of guys like that think the same way.
Thank you.
Yep.
Brady?
Jamal, you said earlier this season you were basically playing with one arm with your shoulder injury. How's that shoulder doing?
Yeah, it has its days, man. Has its days. But obviously, man, it's kind of like, so what now what? You know what I mean? It's that mentality. It is what it is. I'm not gonna make an excuse for it because everybody on the outside world, they don't really care. Just to be honest. So they want to see us perform on the field, and that's what I got to go do. Whatever it takes, I'll figure out the shoulder when it's all said and done. But whatever it takes, man.
And you said earlier that you were dealing with depression last year, and forgive me if this is too personal. Feel free to.
No. Shoot it straight. Absolutely.
What went into that, and were you diagnosed with depression?
Yeah, man. I think that just seeing certain people, certain doctors outside of the building and talking to a few people, I kind of knew. You know what I mean? And I was fighting it for so long. I didn't speak about it. A lot of the days when I was in New York, had to listen to music just to go into the building, just to stay positive and stay driven. But I knew I was going to get out of the hole. I never had any suicidal thoughts or anything like that. But I knew I was going to make it out of the hole, and I knew it was going to, the storm was going to end one day, right? And I just continued to get closer to the man upstairs, and he continues to work on me. He continues to allow me to use my talents on the field to express who I am as a person. And man, I give all the glory to him. Man, I'm not making those plays on the field. I'm not making these sacks. When I do break the record, I didn't break it without him, right? And I'm a firm believer in that. My faith is only getting stronger, and I just appreciate those that have helped me on my journey, because it's only just getting started. And like I always say, man, the marathon continues.
2 more questions. Joe?
Well, Pete mentioned that he spoke to you and Brandon this week about playing your former team. I'm curious, as a player, do you appreciate having a coach that can say, hey, like, it's all good, acknowledging this game is different and has this special layer, but like harness it, control it, don't make it more than what it is, but you can still, you don't have to pretend it isn't there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I would be lying if I said, wow, I'm not excited, or I'm about to play my old team, like, of course, right? But it's an even kill mindset. Like, I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm not trying to hype myself up. I'm not trying to go out there and prove that I can make this play and make that. Like, I was with them for 3 years. They seen me. They seen what I can do, right? And I have a lot of respect for a lot of the guys over there. They're going to be talking noise. I'm going to be talking noise. It's going to be a fun battle, man. I know their record might not show it all the time, but that's a ball club that never stops fighting. I can give you that. You know what I mean? And I know what type of character that defense especially is gonna go out there, and I know what they're gonna do. I know what Denard Wilson and Coach Frank Bush. I know what type of plays and how they're gonna get the guys riled up. I know what we're up against, should I say? Right. So I'm not trying to make it bigger than what it is. It's gonna be exciting. I finally get to, get after Sam a little bit. One of my guys, man, I have a lot of respect for Sam. Just to face him, and he doesn't have a red jersey on because I'm kind of used to that. So it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited to get out there. I'm excited to shake the guys' hands, hug some of the coaches and players because I know where I came from. I still have a lot of respect for that organization. I still have respect for my ex-teammates, right? I still have these relationships because it's bigger than ball. It's not always about ball. It's about the relationships you build while you're playing this game. That's what makes this game very beautiful. So I'm excited to get out there, man. I don't go out there early in pregame. Those guys know that. But I will be out there as soon as the team, the DBs and all of us get to going out there. It's going to be exciting, man, just to see the guys again, for sure.
Last question, Brian Costello.
Jamal, how would you characterize how your relationship was with Adam Gase, and is he someone you'll seek out after the game?
Yeah, Adam Gase, we had a solid relationship. I don't hate Adam Gase. I don't hate Adam Gase. I have no problem with Adam Gase. I just didn't feel he handled certain situations well as a head coach, and that's just my opinion. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, right? Just like you guys are. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's the world we live in. But like I said, man, I have no hate towards Adam. Obviously, things are not going in a positive, way over there in New York with the record. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going out there to win a ball game. If Adam comes up to me and shakes my hand and I'm gonna shake his hand, there's no love lost. Like, listen, I'm at peace, man. I'm a different guy. I'm really a different guy. I'm still gonna talk my noise, but I'm at peace with it, man. I hope that this explains a little bit more of how I felt. But at the end of the day, man, I did what's best for my family and myself and my career. I took a chance on myself at 24 years old. Many people didn't think that a 24-year-old would get out of his situation. They thought I was crazy. They thought I was a baby. They thought everything. But, man, I stuck to it. I knew who I was as a person. I know my worth. And I, like I said, man, I have nothing but respect to the Jets organization. I pray one day that they do figure it out and they do get the ball rolling because the fans deserve it over there. All of the Jet fans deserve a positive season, a chance at the playoffs, a chance at the run. They deserve that. So because they're so passionate and they're so loyal to the Jets. So, like I said, man, nothing but respect and love. I'll always understand where I came from, who drafted me, because that plays a part in the journey. And like I always say, the marathon continues, man.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamal.